So we're going to go ahead to proceed with business. We'll start, first item is public comments. Don't have anybody here, so we'll move on to approval of the minutes from March 4th, 2026.
Motion to approve the March 4th minutes?
Second.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dahl,
Yes.
Mather.
Yes. Okay, now we'll go to discussions and presentations.
I'll go ahead and give you my, the electric department's update for the previous month's work. Tower Road, we have a service that the crews have installed about 500 foot of underground primary pipe and wire. They have completed that. They're waiting on the electrician to finish the work on the inside of that, and then they will energize that transformer. Ashley Park, they've completed the installation of the transformer and the primary wire for Ashley Park, and now they're waiting on the electrician there as well to finish their service work, the inside of the service work, and then we will energize that as well. Upcoming projects, we've already started on the Fremont Apartments. Crews began installing the underground wire, the primary wire, but the construction contractors kind of switched their entrance around, so we pulled off of that to kind of stay out of their way. They're going pretty fast out there. And then also the Lebanon High School, this week during spring break, they're going to cut the asphalt in the parking lot, and then we're going to go ahead and finish the installation of the pipe for that, and then we'll be able to start pulling in wire. I think we're probably going to wait till after school's out to pull in that wire. There's some concrete that has to be poured around our section boxes, so we're going to wait to get all those cars and traffic out of there. Service crew, they are still working on Ward 4, and then they're kind of bleeding over into Ward 1 to repair those LED street lights. That has made a big difference, and it's a noticeable difference in several neighborhoods. Also, they've completed over about 50% of the Jefferson upgrades, the Jefferson Street upgrades, and that's mainly on the north side of Jefferson. They're going to continue that next week and get the rest of those probably within the next couple of weeks. Substations and switchyard inspections were completed in March. The only thing we had was in sub 5, we had an HVAC cooling line that had leaked. We made the necessary repair, called the HVAC people, made the necessary repairs to that. Everything's working fine. Tree trimming, our contractors completed 11,209 feet of trimmed line, 83 tree removals, and we've had 5 outages in the month of March. I kind of wanted to try to walk through this feeder outage that happened on Saturday, March 21st. It affected a large area, and I wanted to kind of explain, or do my best to explain how that happened. We experienced at 8 a.m. an outage involving recloser 1030, which is currently a larger than normal load due to the ongoing high school construction. Feeder 1030 is out of Substation 1, which is at 2nd Street in Van Buren. And under normal conditions, it serves customers north and west of the station, covering the area from North Monroe to about Washington and north up through there. And it extends up to about behind the old junior high on the Washington Street side. And then on the North Monroe side, it goes into back there to 7th Street, back in there. Because of the high school construction project, feeder 1030 has been temporarily tied to feeder 8020 out of Substation 8. The Substation 8 is located on Bryce Street past Weaver. It's on the west side of 64 past Weaver. This configuration allows Sub 1 to supply power westward to Ashley Park from Substation 1. So everything's coming out of Substation 1 going to Ashley Park. Basically, it's from North Jefferson north to about Clark Street, that whole swath up through there. So at the corner of Bennett and North Jefferson, a distribution air brake switch is what we've got on there. You can see that arm on that, every piece of that is metal. You can see the bird nests in the arms. That is all the flat surfaces. That's key for birds to build nests in, squirrels to run across. But somehow, a critter got up there and burnt 2 of the phases down. The system detected the fault, and then it shut the power off to about a little over 1,000 meters. It attempted to automatic restore power, but the fault stayed. And then a second interruption occurred as the system attempted to clear the fault again. It saw that the fault was cleared, so it remained energized. So on that switch, everything past that switch north to Ashley Park, there were 2 phases down. When we got there, crews were able to identify that there was energized phases on the ground. Police and fire were there. They were staying away. And then they immediately went to the substation and killed everything out. They isolated feeder 1030 and then repaired the down conductors. It started at 8, and at 9:30 they were able to restore service that morning. So they get in and got it done quick.
Okay, so no incidences with anybody getting close?
No. Actually, whenever I got there, the police and fire had pretty much shut down the lane that was affected by the wires, downed wires. And then whenever I got there, you can kind of see them.
How did they
laying-
find out? Did you guys call them, or?
No, I'd say
They just
a
responded
passerby saw it, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, they were able to get there and shut down the road, and we only had, while I was there, we only had 1 car come through it. Whenever we got our trucks there, we were able to block most of it. And that's all I have.
No way to prevent that.
That could be a big deal. We do, whenever you have public safety folks, some of them not have a whole lot of experience being out there, that could be a big deal. They don't want to just drive like this.
So you're talking about first responders when they
Police or fire.
when they rolled up on scene? Do they receive any training with you guys or anything like that to where?
Not from us. Their training, I'm not sure where they get their training from, but from what I'll tell you, it's a minimal training, and that's probably good and bad at the same time. There was a training that we did several years ago about a car that hit a pole and had a scenario of down power lines and was able to kind of walk through that. Yeah, we need to get back to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, those wires that are down there, and that's the difference between identifying a downed wire that's energized and not energized. That's a coated wire. So that thing can lay there all day long and not show a fault. So, yeah, that's the danger of that.
So there are plans to kind of work together? Because I'm just, from what I'm hearing, I know just my experience with things going wrong with different departments in our world, a lot of times just a little refreshing of, okay, when you come up on scene, from our perspective, is that water the same way? I mean, here's what you can expect, and here's what you can do to help secure the scene or whatever, but having your input in that, I think, would be vital on
Yeah,
that. So.
we had an incident, been 10+ years ago, that we had a car in a ditch 10 foot up. Well, it busted that bottom piece out, and then the phase had just kind of set down, and when we got there, I was actually on call. There was medics and paramedics and fire that were just kind of ducking under that three-phase, and it scared me to death. Yeah.
Well, people's first response is call 911.
Right.
And 911's first response is send police, fire, and then somebody will get a hold of you guys
Yeah.
From there.
from there. So I get how it happened, but yeah.
Right.
Getting that training to them would be very important to them and their safety, much less the public safety too, so.
Correct, yeah. Thank you.
All right, we've, out on Montrose, the water and sewer construction is complete, and they've started, environmental guys have started helping out the street, and they've installed 220 linear feet of 18-inch storm drain and 6 drop inlet boxes on the stormwater side. The Arrow Landing subdivision, they've installed just shy of 300 foot of 8-inch sewer main and 490 feet of 4-inch service lines and a manhole. And they've installed 70 foot of electric conduit and 370 feet of 2-inch pressure line. The water's been installed. They've got one water valve that should be here today to finish that up. And then we're waiting on the lift station manhole. Hopefully we'll have it within a couple weeks from the manufacturer, and we can install it, and then the utilities will be, the water and sewer will be complete out there. They've fixed 7 water leaks, installed 7 new water services. They replaced just shy of 200 feet of 1-inch service line over on King Street. They had 322 utility locates. They did 79 disconnects, 91 reconnects, 22 meter checks, 2 meter installs, 2 meter changeouts, 2 leak checks, 1 low/no water, 8 general maintenance calls, and 1 sewer tap inspection. 20 dead-end fire hydrants were flushed. We flush those every month. Installed a new concrete splash pad for the overflow at the Glencastle Tower. That was a recommendation from the EPA, the inspection that we had on the water system. And we're waiting on materials for the low booster station. We've got a couple valves that are bad out there, and then there's a seal on one of the pumps that's leaking, and so we're just waiting on parts to repair that. On the wastewater maintenance side, they had 22 service calls. 4 of them were on the city due to routes, and then 18 of them were on the customer side. There wasn't anything on the city side. They've cleaned just a little over 55,000 linear feet of sewer line. They've also videoed just over 36,000 linear feet. They've inspected 84 manholes and hauled 118 loads of biosolids, land applied, which is about 354,000 gallons. The contractor has finished painting the clarifiers at the treatment plant. And we've received our draft operating permit for the wastewater treatment plant. We've been going through it, and they've tightened the limits a little bit on copper and ammonia, but we've pulled all the data for the last several years, and we should be perfectly fine achieving the new limits, no problem. So we're not foreseeing any issues with the new permit. The Reeves well, we've, Barnes and McDonald is looking at our options, basically on what we can do to try to get that back up to some sort of pumping level.
Have they reached a conclusion on what was the cause?
Not, seismic activity is,
Suspicion, right?
yeah, so really, nobody knows. I mean, that's the best anybody can tell without doing a whole lot of testing, and that's just gonna be money wasted, because there's nothing you can do about it. I mean,
Right.
something happens underground, and just, you're at Mother Nature's mercy. So we should, within a couple weeks, we should have a report back from them of what the options are and some budget costs for that. And then we're also, we'll be taking to city council on the 13th, a task order with Burns McDonald to study our water system and come up with the best, basically some options on where we would want to drill a new well.
That's
Burns-
Plan B, if we
Can't
can't make
fix.
this existing well productive in some manner at some level.
Yeah.
What Plan B?
So does a well need to be close to the water tower, I would think, or maybe not?
You've got to have your chlorine contact time, so there's a couple different ways you can achieve that.
So to drill a new well, you're talking drilling it right around that area, or you have to move a water tower?
Well, you would,
We'll look at some options.
Okay.
yeah, they're gonna, yeah, they'll give us options and
So
costs.
that's all gonna be within the next 30 to 90 days, you're gonna have all that work to deal with, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all I've got on that. I have, I wanted to let you all know that I've turned in my resignation, and I will be leaving. May 15th will be my last day. So,
Sorry to hear that, okay.
Certainly hate to lose you,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, we hate to lose him. We will be working with him in the future. He's going to be one of our neighboring utilities. He's going to be working for Public Water District Number 1 to the west of us. So that'll, in some ways, that'll help us a little bit. We've always had a good working relationship with them, but we'll continue that on as Mitch retires. We continue to have a lot of large commercial and industrial developments, working through some of those plans and stuff. So that takes some time, but the wheels are still turning. It's still good. It's still going. I worked on the terms of service. Basically, lays out the terms of service for utility services, getting it all in one document. We tend to have it in about 3 different locations, and we're getting it all in one document. That will include deposit rates and all, and utility rates, and just all the terms associated with having utility service with the city of Lebanon. I'll try to get that out to you either tonight or tomorrow for you to review, and so that you can make comments. Most all of it is what we're currently doing. There's a few things that we're kind of changing up a little bit, but I will notate with highlights things that we're changing so that you guys understand what we're proposing to change. And it would be, I would hope to have that on the next board meeting for discussion and possible approval or adoption. And then we're finishing out the FY '27 budget and CIP, and we hope to have that to you early next week for you to review that, and that would be on the meeting 2 weeks from today for us to discuss that and to review and possibly adopt. Got some good weather, and we're getting some things done, and got a good team still going.
Eric had mentioned that South Fremont project. I was just amazed at the speed that's going up. Have we already done most of our water and sewer out at that complex?
The contractor actually did most of it. So the sewer is all private inside there because it's all one lot. They
Right.
tied into us. And then the water, they made the tap on our 12-inch.
That's right. So being private, you didn't have to do it then, yeah.
We just have to,
But the water, there'll be part of that main that goes in there, they're installing, and then we will take possession of it after testing and all that. So we will own the water line through
Okay.
there, but all the sewer will be private.
all the electric utilities, the conduit's been placed, and whenever they get farther along, we'll start pulling in wire and stuff to do that. And that's been a pretty big task there for the electric side, but yeah, good project.
Yeah, huge project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Okay, we'll move on to resolutions. We'll start with Resolution 26-004.
This is for the water materials to replace about 1,600 linear feet of 6-inch cast iron water main. It's up by Ashley Park. We've had a lot of water leaks up there over the last several years. So it definitely needs some attention. So this is to purchase the materials, $16,000 from Core and Main and $24,000 from Water and Sewer Supply. We received five bids on it. Any questions on that?
Motion to approve 26004.
Second.
Dahl,
Yes.
Mather,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 26-004 has been approved. Go on to the next one, 005.
This is to do some rehab to the lift station over on Fremont Place. There's a history of leaks in the wall seams, and the point repairs that we've tried over the last several years have been ineffective. There's too much groundwater influence there. So this is to have advanced rehabilitation coating technology come in, and they'll coat the whole inside with like an epoxy resin, and it's about $16,000 to seal it up, that lift station.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mather,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Dahl.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 26-005 is approved. Now we'll move on to the next one.
This is to replace the VFDs, the variable frequency drives, at the wastewater treatment plant that drive the influent pumps, and then also to replace the drives down at the Goodwin Hollow lift station. And I had budgeted, initially in the capital improvement plan, we had budgeted $55,000, and it was going to be a multi-year project. I had $55,000 for '27 and then about $55,000 for '28. Well, working with O.J. Dupree, which is the Cutler Hammer Eaton certified vendor. They come up with a plan they could rehab several of the VFDs that we have and change out components in there, basically refurbish them and make them like new. And we're able to do all 6 of them for $55,000. So it saved us about half the cost of doing new ones. And they're getting some of there's a couple of them down at the treatment plant, or no, down at Goodwin Hollow that you can't get parts for. So those will be replaced, and the other ones are still serviceable, so. And those are, basically, the Goodwin Hollow lift station, pumps half of the city to the treatment plant. So that's pretty critical that we want to make sure that we don't have a failure there. And then, of course, at the wastewater treatment plant, those are pretty critical too, to have those up and going, so.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Anderson,
Yes.
Dahl,
Yes.
Mather.
Yes. Okay, Resolution 26-006 is approved. Okay, Eric, you got the next one, too.
This is just replacement and maintenance parts for the UV system at the treatment plant. A percentage of these parts are recommended to be replaced yearly. It's just based on how many hours that the ultraviolet disinfection system, the hours on the bulbs and the ballasts and stuff. So we're recommending purchasing just shy of $30,000 worth of replacement and maintenance parts for that system.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Dahl,
Yes.
Mather,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Resolution 07 is approved. Now, the last one, Travis.
This is for the inspection services for substations 1 and 2. This will continue reliability, safety, and better performance of our electrical equipment in substations 1 and 2. We were going to start on kind of the north side and do sub 8 and sub 7, but we are going to change the transmission relays in both sub 1 and 2. So we got with our engineers, and they said that would be better when we install the transmission relays, we've got to shut down the subs anyway. So they said that would be the best time to do those as well. So we've kind of changed up. Toth does all of our maintenance and inspection services on their contract we have with them. So staff recommends to have Toth perform the routine maintenance and inspection services at sub 1 and 2. That will include several testing. They test the insulation in the transformers. They down to the winding, the turns ratio in the windings. They do it all. So whenever they're done, we have that baseline, and for the years to come, we have that data, and it's very beneficial. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve 26-008.
Second.
Mather,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Dahl.
Yes.
Okay, Resolution 26-008 is approved.
Thank you.
That concludes that part of our business. Now we'll move on to agenda item number 6, board member comments.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, Eric, when are you leaving?
May
15th.
15th will be my last
So you probably
day.
haven't probably don't have anybody on staff that's going to be able to move into that or be considered.
We're looking at options, and we'll advertise out, and one potential may be that we separate the environmental department into a water department, wastewater department, to somewhat simplify that.
Yeah. Hate to lose you.
we're looking for.
Oh, absolutely. It's grown quite a bit since you
Yeah,
first
sure,
took
it's
it
a
over.
massive job, so.
Yeah, to take care of both sides of that, so. I've got a question. Back last few weeks, people's been getting your utility bills and sticker shock. Have you guys had any major issues with that? I'm guessing just because the way the billing fell, and it was a cold snap there that really drove people's prices high. But I got a lot of comments from that, people asking about it, and then I saw a lot on social media. Just was wondering if there was any major issues or concerns or anything on that.
So, yeah, that cold snap in February, the way that thing hit, it was one billing cycle for a lot of people, and then the next billing cycle, so it kind of tailed off into two billing cycles is what really hit. Our rates have increased since last year, and when you guys approved that, I mean, the rates weren't insanely high then, so whenever we have these normal months, it's not that big of a deal. When we have these big swings in temperatures is when they're going to see a higher bill. I will tell you, for me, reading those comments on social media, I don't want to give off that we're not easy to approach. If somebody has questions about their bills or anything, I just say, please don't hesitate to come and talk to us about it,
Absolutely.
you know.
You guys have been great for that. And to piggyback on that, my second part of that question was, I know that there had been some late fees and stuff that you guys had kind of, is that all back to normal now? So everybody's bills should be getting paid on time and get caught up then?
Yeah, so we, with the cold weather, rule, some of the disconnects and stuff had to be put off because we can't disconnect.
Right.
with the weather and stuff, so sometimes that kind of like snowball stuff too.
Okay. Well, I know, I had no doubt that you guys were working with the public to do everything that you could to make sure that it was fair for everybody and to do that. So I appreciate you taking the brunt of that, because it's, some of them were pretty brutal, and I'm thinking, you have no idea. I mean, and you're gonna get it again when we get up into 100-degree temperature this summer. So it's just gonna be the flip side of it, so.
Shout out to those girls up front for taking.
Yeah, they take
Those
it
girls
on.
at the front desk probably deserve candy and flowers that day, for sure, so.
We just really had a mild winter up until that point.
Right.
I think that was, well, like Travis said, there's a lot of sticker shock whenever you go from very mild months to set in.
Oh, yeah.
The 7 to 10 day period, that's.
All those heat pumps went on emergency.
That's exactly right. And that really changes your.
It
It's
did.
like, we felt the brunt of it too from MQA, and,
Yeah.
you know, it all
Yeah.
goes,
Yeah.
you know, to our provider as well.
So during that time, I mean, did everything work okay as far as we had plenty of electricity and really didn't notice any bad outages? I know the storm we got, the snowstorm, was mainly just light fluffy snow, so that's the best kind to get if you're gonna get it, so.
Yeah, we didn't have any major feeder outages or anything like that. We had some 1 and 2 off outages that the crews were able to get to and get on pretty quick, so, yeah, nothing major.
Okay, all right, appreciate it.
Okay, next meeting in 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
Thank you, guys and ladies. Appreciate all you do.
April,
Okay,
be the 16th, maybe?
be the 15th.
15th.
Ooh, tax day, too.
Yeah.